Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be starting a brand new campaign with Dechala. So, as always, if you enjoy the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out a ton on the channel. Be sure to check out the rest of the content as well. We have dozens and dozens of campaigns over nearly a decade since this franchise was released. Man, I didn't realize it'd been that long, but thinking about it, it is. So, lots and lots on there. And for those of you that have been longtime fans, sorry I've been, MIA this semester. I switched universities that I'm teaching at, and there was just a lot of extra work and a lot of extra adjustments going into that. But I am going to release this content consistently once this episode comes out. We'll get all of this campaign, and then I'm going to try to do all of the DLCs as well over winter break here. I do have a lot of other stuff I have to study because I'm applying for like a massive upgrade, but I've got to do it in a different discipline. So my primary training is in Victorian literature, so like 1800s, Dickens, that type of stuff. And they are hiring for a tenure position that is in like Renaissance and medieval. So I don't know a lot about that, but I have had some classes on it, but I'm going to have to do a lot of reading in preparation to apply for that early next year. So I am going to bring in some Total War. I'm going to try to be consistent with it over winter break, but I'm not going to be able to do multiple of these campaigns at the same time. So we'll get through Dechala first. Do at least 10 episodes here, possibly more, if we're really rolling with it and still having fun. And then I'll circle back and probably do either the High Elves or the Norskin guy. We'll eventually do them all. But anyways, I tried to start with the High Elves like a week or two ago, and it was harder than I thought. There are just some really weird, clunky things about some of the mechanics that I'll talk about when I get into that campaign again. But I figured I'd switch it up a little bit, go over to Dechala. So here we are. Alright, let's get moving. So sorry for all that preamble, but just wanted to explain that for the longtime fans. I am going to try to be back and releasing some more significant content here. Okay, so I've always liked Slaanesh. I thought Nakari was really fun, especially kind of in the initial iteration of Warhammer 3. But his start on Ulthuan is okay, but one of the biggest things about Slaanesh historically is they didn't have very good mobile recruitment. So it's hard to really go on the move. They also have very low recruitment capacity, so they didn't have a lot of buildings that gave you extra recruitment capacity, so you could only hire like 2 or 3 units per turn. And some of their mechanics got nerfed really hard, really fast, so the seduction and being able to get vassals, it just takes way too long after it got nerfed after the initial release. But the playstyle is really fun. It's really fast, at least historically, really fast, very mobile, high damage, but high APM, actions per minute, to really play them effectively. Now, they have changed that over time, where they do have more heavily armored units that can just come in with Chaos Warriors and Chosen and things like that. They can just come in and just, do your traditional tank and spank kind of play style. But they're still really fun. And I think they added some extra interest with this rework. They fixed some of those problems, and specifically with Dechala, they added a lot more kind of interesting strategic elements. Okay, so you're going to be able to create 3 different kinds of buildings with different effects now when we go in there. There's one that's kind of like so basically, it's almost like, not quite Horde, but Horde-esque, where most buildings are not going to be that highly impactful, kind of like Warriors of Chaos, a little bit more impactful than those little supplementary buildings. But you're going to be able to make your own pleasure palaces in certain spots that'll be like the dark fortresses from the Chaos Warriors, in the sense that that's going to allow you to recruit a lot of things. It's going to give you a lot of money, a lot of resources, but you can make them anywhere. There's a limited amount. You have to save up resources to get to them. But those are your powerhouse places you really want to protect. And the other places are kind of whatever. They do give you some stuff that's helpful. They give you some small recruitment. They give you some resources. But a lot of it is just going to be around managing and protecting these pleasure palaces. So you got to make some strategic choices on those. The corruption, they changed from seduction to where it just kind of gives debuffs to units, which I think is less fun, but probably a little bit easier to balance around. So you can do that to more units than you could steal, because before you could only steal a couple of really weak units most of the time until you got to really late game, and now you can corrupt multiple units. So if there are certain kinds of things your army might be weak to, especially lower level things, you can debuff a bunch of those early on. And then character experience is cool, and then you get 10% for all Marauders, Horsemen, and Hellstriders, so a lot of your low-level units. And for Marauders, you get upkeep minus 15%. faction wide. So that's awesome for going wide, getting multiple lords, while still being effective. And then she can hold an additional weapon. You get steal, 10% of the experience earned by other lords. Post-battle chance of demanding a magic item is tribute. I don't know why they call it tribute or whatever. I don't think that's a specific mechanic. I think that's just gaining an extra magical item. 50% extra is really good, though, if that's what that is. The grammar is a little weird, so I'm not sure on that. But and then 10% extra weapon strength for all demonic units. Okay, and then settings, as usual, we've got Legendary, Very Hard, Iron Man mode, so we have to deal with our consequences, and then just, we'll keep all the rest of this the same. Okay, let's go. So this is not as complex, I don't think, with the resources as Acelin. With the High Elves, there's a lot of things going on. That's a lot closer to kind of like Chaos Dwarves, where you have like resources that translate into other resources. And so you have to kind of figure out the conversion rate between these different currencies and like what's efficient in different situations. It's a very fun campaign early on. It just is really hard because you just don't have a lot of carry units early as Acelin. Like your, I guess, free units that you get pretty much suck. It's just like these flying shooting units. We'll skip this to go in. And you don't have a lot of magic that's good. So Acelin is hard on Legendary early on. It's interesting but hard, and we'll circle back to it. But I think Dechala is going to have some stronger carry units. And what I mean by that, if you're not familiar, I'm sure almost everyone is, but just stuff that can actually win you the battle. So a lot of times you don't need like an entire army of carry units. Usually that's very expensive to get those. But, you know, just stuff that can kill a lot of things and make stuff happen, either through magic, charging, infantry, special abilities, just stuff, specifically early on stuff that can deal with massive waves of infantry, because that's what you're going to be facing most of the time in the early game. And you just don't have a lot of those as Acelin, but you do have some of those as Dechala. Okay, so it just tells you got pleasure palaces, you got thralls. I think they changed these from, were they called slaves? They were called something like that. They changed this to thralls. I don't know if Nakari still calls them slaves or whatever. I think they renamed the Dark Elves just because obviously that's kind of a very culturally sensitive word. But it's fine. You're gathering people to do bad things with them. Tormentor Hold. Okay, and then you got Decadence. You get Boons of Slaanesh for your armies. Oh, you can still do the Disciple armies? I didn't realize that. I forgot that was still a thing. Okay, you get the Gifts of Slaanesh. Negative effects. How do...
Dechala.
I'm gonna have to look, because I played through a little bit of this, not very much, early on, just so I can get this out to you quicker. But I'm trying to remember, how do you... I thought there was like a...
The denied one.
Button on the hero, does it just not active? To raise a Slaaneshi army?
Shall slake your
I can't remember. But I remember there was a pretty conspicuous button for creating that army. But I can't remember if it was on the Lord or on the building itself. One really nice thing about kind of these bad factions early is you get corruption, which helps out with public order. That's the biggest thing. So you never have to get public order buildings, or it's very rare to have to do that. And you get all these bonuses. So corruption is still just pretty OP, honestly, if you're a corruption faction. Most of them. Skaven is one that's kind of balanced, but... Anyways, alright, let's get into some fights here.
Anointed.
So you get a Druki Anointed here that can get some magic eventually. So you can get the Lash of Slaanesh or Chill Wind, which are like, okay. So you can pick a few spells early on. But you can't get it to level 8. So you don't have a caster early on. But she's a pretty good fighter. You got 60-42, so not great melee defense, but really good on offense. Decent armor. Murderous Mastery. Okay, so that's like a Dark Elf you know, kind of thing, which is cool. And then you've got... That basically gives you 8 extra melee defense, but also for everyone else that's fighting the same unit, just lowers their melee attack by a lot. Extra corruption. Now, he does have damage walls, or she does. So, she's a good fighter. So, I don't know if you always want to do that, but if there's going to be a really tough siege, having that damage walls is good. Because your siege is not great as Slaanesh early on. They nerfed it. It used to be pretty good. You could, like, run around and knock out... With N'Kari and some of those faster moving units, you don't have a ton of really fast moving units here. But you could run around, knock out doors, and then go take checkpoints and just basically take the town before they could even rotate over to you a lot as N'Kari. Which is a little cheesy, but that's just kind of how you had to do it, because your units just aren't great at siege. But now, with these marks of Slaanesh, everybody has this Strider attribute, which means that you can climb up the walls. I'm like 99% sure you can climb up the walls in a siege and not be tired anymore. So that's pretty massive, that you don't take damage, or you don't take extra damage to your vigor through rough terrain, and climbing the walls counts as rough terrain. I'm pretty sure. So you're going to be a little tired, but you're not going to be completely depleted, so it's easier to climb walls. And they did give you some crossbow units, so now you do have some ranged multi-purpose units, which are cool. They're expensive, but they're kind of like shades. They might literally be shades, just with a different name. They don't have the armor piercing, though. The Dark Elf shades, I'm pretty sure, are pretty massively armor piercing. But it's a similar type of thing where they're pretty good in combat. They're serviceable in combat, but they also have pretty good range. And then you've got this big Medusa type unit. What is mini armed? Faster attack rate, higher melee defense, and increased missile block chance. Okay. So it doesn't tell you attack speed. It doesn't calculate that into anything, which is annoying. But anyways, let's go ahead and get a fight in here. And then we'll talk about some
I
things.
bring the gift of darkness.
Freedom is power.
Now, you can activate some of these things if you want. I don't think I want to do this early. Character experience plus 50%, unit experience plus 50%. That's not ward experience. So, I don't think that's worth early. But the really big one here, if you ever need it, is this for the extra 4 weapon damage on everybody. Wayfarer is kind of whatever. But 4 weapon damage, especially on lower tier units, all armor piercing damage is pretty big in a tough fight. And then you've got like a Stalker one that's okay, ambush, if you're trying to play that game. Alright.
Free to slaughter.
Alright, and I think we will just fight this, just to try to stay as healthy as possible. We do have one ability here that, like, helps out with Vigor a lot, one army ability. I think that's a big nerf from what it used to be. Oh, here's this. So if you want to corrupt people, you can just click over here. It's 200 gold. So, I mean, we could just corrupt their whole army if we wanted to. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the debuff is on the corruption. It might depend. But I think it lowers their stats. Oh, you can only do 4 total units. So it's a lot cheaper. Favor cost per tier is 200. Okay. So a tier 3 would be 600. And we could go up to a tier 3 unit to corrupt. So you can't, like, corrupt dragons or things like that easily. Okay. But yeah, the first army ability, I'm pretty sure used to be, like, Fascination or something like that. It was a direct damage spell. It was really good for a tier 1. So I get why they nerfed it, but it's like, I don't know. There's so many other weaknesses to Slaanesh. I think giving them one powerful army ability was good. I think it may have lowered leadership and done, like, pretty good direct damage. About equal to, like, a Mystifying Miasma or something.
Writhing in anticipation.
And N'Kari's vibe is just cool. I just liked N'Kari a lot. Decala's cool too. But just like the Slaanesh vibe is interesting. Okay.
I honed for murder.
So you're still, you know, low armor with most units, kind of fast moving, like heavy emphasis on flanking. But a big problem with that, with a lot of factions, is the
pangs of suffering.
sieges.
Dechala.
Okay. Okay, and then she can turn into being more
I will
aggressive.
take their breath away and give their souls their freedom back.
So basically, you can go more aggressive or more defensive. So plus damage, armor piercing, but lower melee defense, or higher missile chance and melee defense and all that.
A more intimate spot.
To
Okay, so we'll put some spears on the
endless craving.
sides here.
We will hunt. Find them. Bring us souls. Slaaneshi crossbows. Disciplined devotees. Frenzied fire.
Spearmen. Serving the pack. A deathless craving. Slaanesh hallows your essence. Consume them.
It brings souls.
Champions of Slaanesh! Rapturous fury! Slaanesh
No, actually, no.
Sword of Night!
Those are spears.
Druki anointed!
We need to get over there and deal with that. Okay, let's
Cherished chosen.
Hunt them down.
not doing the most fantastic job with my micro so far here. What?
Novelties await.
Pinnacle of fall! A viper's spear!
Okay, you know what? Let's just go ahead and take those out.
Marauders of
We'll charge into them. Now we can shoot them in the back, hopefully.
punishment. The pangs of suffering.
Your claws dance. Your fangs sing.
Frenzied fire.
Druki anointed! Dissolution calls!
Do it now.
Charge cycle is a little bit.
Agonizing anticipation.
Okay, yeah, these goblin little sticker guys are not doing that much.
I wander the field.
Ready and willing. Slaaneshi crossbows. Novelties await.
Marauders of Slaanesh.
Yeah, I really don't like it when these units just dive through stuff. I mean, sometimes it can be useful, but then you're just like,
Marauders. Kill.
Mistress, we serve.
okay, so yeah, it could have been a little bit cleaner. Oh man, that was a big hit. Just did like a half his health.
Druki anointed.
Just headshot him. Guess I... Do we even have the army ability? Done that earlier, maybe. Sure. I think we need money early. 13 thralls doesn't seem like a lot. I don't know like conversion rates or what's really worth. I feel like we'll do money to start.
Shall suck your essence.
When I ran through this the first time, I think I got another Trickster Shard, which is pretty good.
Daughter of excess.
Now, as far as text go, it's pretty simple. Like, you want this one, I think. There are disciples. Actually, I didn't even look at this too much. I thought it was all sensation, but okay, so here we've got leadership for all non-demonic things. Hellstrider. Armor is pretty big and missile resist. Just for lower level units, although it does apply to the devotees. And then 4 melee attack for all non-demonic infantry units. Beast Breaker ammo for Marauder Horsemen, anti-large. Okay. Horrible regeneration for spawn. I think that's... Oh, it can resurrect dead combatants. Okay, some stuff for like your monsters. Alright, so this stuff like is good. You have to have both of those? Yeah, that's a long time. So this seems odd to me because this is something that's always been inconsistent, is like when these things join on the tech tree, right here it looks like you don't have to have both. You can just have this one and not both of them. But here it looks like you do need both to get this. Right? But this one is saying you need both. But now, so it's glitched, I think. Either way, we'll do that later. I think sensations, this is where I would start. This is like your economy type of stuff that you want. So 50 thralls per turn is nice. And then you've got 1 population surplus for captured settlements. Extra income from pleasure palaces, 20%. That's a big deal. Extra units to corrupt. And it lowers the cost of corruption a lot, which can be handy. Armies in adjacent provinces, which summons a giant spawn. Okay. Okay, so you can summon a giant spawn of Slaanesh. Construction costs for wall buildings. I don't know if that's just in Pleasure Palaces or anywhere, but that's actually kind of nice. Because they have a thing, too, where, like, your garrisons can actually sally out and attack people that aren't sieging them. So that could be cool. And then it buffs up the giant spawn stuff. So, not the best in the world, but it's okay. Boons of Slaanesh are cheaper. And then 2 extra turns for Boons of Slaanesh. I'm not sure if that's the army ability or if that's the provincial edict stuff you can do. But the big one is Demonic Attraction. So,
I ache for this.
So are these are boons. Okay, so it's cheaper and it lasts longer. So that's pretty good. But the big thing here is these are... You can get demonic units quickly. Units in the army with the Mark of Slaanesh receive the following bonuses. Okay, so if you have this unit in your army, you get different bonuses, it looks like. And I don't know if these are regiments, they're not named. You can get some nice stuff, like Keeper of Secrets, that's a tier 5 unit. Fiends, Chaos Furies. So this is kind of your mobile recruitment. That's one of the big things that I talked about before, was this is a major problem with Slaanesh, is you didn't have a lot of mobile recruitment. But now you've got these, plus Regiments of Renown, plus you can summon up, supposedly, those extra armies. So yeah, I think this is a really big thing. Obviously, it's going to cost you some significant resources, but I mean, a tier 5 unit, that's pretty significant. It's pretty big bonus. Okay. Right, let's go ahead and
is freedom.
Fight one more here.
Obey and
Again, we could auto it, but we want to be as healthy as possible. Now, I think we want to probably hire an extra caster. I'm a little bit torn on that strategy sometimes, but with some of these factions where you could potentially go wider, and you might be able to do that because we have that 15% discount on the Marauders. But just to get your Lord some extra experience early on, because it doesn't cost that much, and they're decent at fighting, and we don't have any magic. And we're not going to be able to get a magic hero for a little bit, I don't think. So, just getting a caster, and I think both Lords, regardless of what you pick, they all have some kind of magic. I think I'll do one of the Chaos Sorcerer Lords, because they have armor, and they can kind of fight. They might get a Chaos Dragon, too. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Sworn servants.
Spearmen.
So it's been a little bit.
Pinnacle of form.
Slaanesh crossbows.
I don't know where they're gonna come in. Oh, there they are. Guess we try to force them to one side here.
Marauders of Slaanesh. Finding fresh souls.
The cherished choose.
Okay, so they can walk through this. It looks like a wall, but it's not.
Subserviently.
On the hunt.
To
Actually,
satisfy
right here
cravings.
would probably be better. But I think it's fine.
Irrefutable. A delectable hunt. Ready and willing. Shamelessly. Indulging.
Guided by hunger.
Oh, okay. Hold up.
To the next victory!
The pole spreads!
A killing thirst. Your claws dance. Your fangs sing. We hunt.
We crave more.
Champions of Slaanesh. Driven by pain. Writhing in
Gosh,
anticipation.
it moves pretty quick.
Slaaneshi champions. Closer.
Holy cow, how fast is she? 75. She is moving it.
We crave more. Frenzied fire! With supreme grace.
To the next victory.
Sate your desires. Slaaneshi crossbows.
Yeah, those crossbows are actually decent at fighting, so it's not like the end of the world if you have to put them in there.
Satisfaction awaits there.
Disciplined devotees.
Fleet of
How are they not, like, all broken yet?
mistress. We serve. No delay. Without more. Dechala. The sweep of blood.
Sensation.
Are these unbreakable or what? Like, how are... Because their lord's long gone, right?
Agonizing anticipation. Novelties await. Such torturous suspense.
Regale me, murderous cravings. Kill.
Okay, yeah, they're done. Alright. Okay, so not too bad. We didn't lose a ton of units. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about with a carry unit. Like, these things are... Like big, heavy anti-infantry units. Like that's what you want in the early game. Okay, so we can occupy... I think you generally want to occupy. And I think almost always, unless you really, really need to recruit and there's nowhere else to recruit, you want a thrall camp.
Do not guard them. None shall escape.
Oh, wow. That's very nice. We're getting a huge discount. Ocean of Strength. That's pretty good on her, because she has a lot of damage, and you get an extra 25%. So popping that when you're charging like a lord or something could be pretty big.
Dechala.
Looks like our replenishment is okay. I think he gives some replenishment, right? So it's just how much do I want the damage walls versus how much do I want him in the fight. Obviously would love to keep him in fights, but I just don't know how difficult some of these sieges are going to be. I think we'll start off with the replenishment and go from there, because that's good whether I want him to damage walls or not.
Of delight.
And then over here, you know, the greedy move is to go for Slaves of Excess. Hellish Stride is okay, but not insane. It's basically just 8 armor. That's really... I mean, it's like, that's okay, but for 3 points, because the other thing is not that great. Chariots are kind of whatever. Yeah, I mean, speed, like, I know it's a Slaanesh thing, it's okay, but it's not that great. Like, that's good, 6 melee and 12% strength for your big ticket monsters, but I still think you just want to go blue tree almost always, especially on legendary, because you got the extra upkeep, and it's not nearly as crazy as it used to be back in Warhammer 2, but it still matters. And you get Lightning Strike, which is massive. You get Decadence, which is really good. Promise of Perfection is also nice. The Seduction budget and Casualty Replenishment, and you get Feared and Renowned. So you do get this little thing, which is cool, the extra 5 melee for people that are close to you, but... And I wouldn't get the... She is an excellent duelist, so, you know, there's some thoughts on that. But... yeah, I think we'll just go Root Marcher. Now, Dominating Presence might be worth for the extra leadership, and you get extra experience per turn. But... I feel I'm going to greed out and just go for the extra...
My power
rolls.
for his glory.
Okay, so how this works, you get a regional population of 1,000 potential thralls.
I do as I will.
And you get certain buildings, so pretty much this turns your thralls into money, if that's something that you want. Or you can get growth, which can help you build up your pleasure palace and other things. And then this adds 20 to the global pool. Now it is going to cost 1 growth to level these up. But this basically gives you 35 thralls per turn, but it takes 35 down from that big number, that 1,000 number. So basically, you can move the thralls to your global pool, basically drain them out of this regionally and put them in your global pool so you can actually spend them. So you can't spend them if they're regional, you only spend them if they're in the global pool. So you can basically spend your thralls to get the thrall currency, or you can spend your thralls to get the money, if you want the money. So this equivalency looks like 20 gold for 1 thrall. So 20 to 1, and it probably gets more efficient, I would assume. No, that's still 20 to 1. A little bit more than 20 to 1. You get the, you know, the 100 gold there, but throughout it looks pretty consistently like 20 to 1. Depletion rate minus 15% per turn. They don't naturally deplete, I don't think. You have to take them out, because the Dark Elves used to naturally deplete. Now this is where you get a lot of it, building wise. So you get an extra 5 per turn, but you can move 25 per turn. So I think we want to get at least to tier 2 to get this one. And it's probably worth buffing up a little bit. Yeah, because this upgrades too. This gets you 15 more moved per turn. And tier 3 gives you 15 more, but it gets increasingly, obviously, way more expensive. And this goes from 25 to 50. Actually, that's pretty tempting. So that's double the amount, and you're only paying... I guess you are paying a little bit more for it, but it's not bad. So you can get some pretty big money if it has thrall stuff. Then eventually, once this runs dry, once you run out of the thralls... now, I don't know if these count as walls. I guess the walls are only on the Pleasure Palace for that discounted thing. But yeah, or you can do the growth. Growth and replenishment. I don't know, like, growth is good, but we get 30 growth, or 20 growth, automatically. And we only need to move it up 1, really. Okay, and then here...
Long for me in
so I think the money one's fine. If we get a ton of money later, then maybe you don't go for the money one, and maybe you go for the growth one at tier 1. Just to power stuff up faster. But I am partial to doing the spear version, because these things aren't going to do a ton of damage anyways, and I just want them to last in combat as long as possible, so I just like having the higher melee defense, even though they have lower weapon strength and lower melee attack. So I have 6 less melee attack, and 3 less weapon strength. I don't know, actually. That's pretty... They've balanced it a little bit more. Armor piercing 5. Armor piercing 7. Because I used to just spam spears everywhere because they were so much better defensively, but now it really is coming at a cost. Like, you're getting 4 more defense, but you've given up a lot. Okay, maybe we do just go with the normal ones then. And then you also have a whip variant that you can get.
freedom is
So
power.
this one over here is what our port is right now. Can I don't think this will let me convert. I thought it lets you convert eventually. I think here, this lets you convert to a Tormentor's Hold if you want, which I guess takes a turn, but you can't go from hold over to something else. So it's a little unfortunate they start this as a hold, but it does allow you to recruit. So I guess we do need to recruit something. So if you want to level this up, you can get these Scourges. Nothing gives us normal Marauder recruitment. Like, a lot of factions will have, like, just something just with a basic building you can recruit. But you don't have that here. You have to build the Marauder building to get Marauders. So, the Whip version is okay. I think they buffed it a little bit. You get poison, you get even more defense. But, oh, they did improve the weapons, the armor piercing. It's more than it used to be. It used to be, like, no armor piercing at all. It was, like, either 1 or 0. So these are okay. Obviously, if you can get up to Warriors of Slaanesh, that's better. That's going to cost a lot of growth. Maybe we just save the 2 growth and rush this just so we can get Warriors of Slaanesh? I'm not sure. And of course, you can get a lot of these things in a Pleasure Palace too, I think. I haven't seen the Pleasure Palace yet, but I guess we'll leave it alone for now. I think we're strong enough for now, probably. I'll have to see what's going on with the Pleasure Palace. But I don't want to spend all this on, you know, this place just for Hell Scourges. If anything, after I hire a couple Marauders, delete this, get this, so that we can get some Hell Striders. These aren't the craziest things in the world, but they're still flanking cavalry. Just having faster flanking units is typically a good thing. Alright. Now, I have to decide, do I want to go ahead and hire a Sorcerer Lord? They're 250 per turn. It does cost 4% extra per turn. But they're pretty good in combat. They do have Soporific Musk, which lowers enemy effectiveness. That's good. Weapon strength is kind of low. But you do have... Ooh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I think he does get a good mount. Herald of Slaanesh is the other one. This person is a lot less strong. I mean, she's a flanker. But you can't just stick her in combat to fight as easily. She's only got 15 armor. She's have 20% resist. Now, I think these get to... Ooh, post-battle loot. That's only for Lord's army, though. That's only if you're the main attacking Lord, which we want to make the other person the main Lord. We do get some magic. I think Herald, can't you convert at a certain point? I'm trying to remember the mechanic. I think a Herald at like level 15 or something can become like a greater demon Lord thing. So this might become more powerful later. But I think this can... I believe these can also get on a Chaos Dragon later. Which is possibly even better than the demon. I'm gonna try these out. This could be bad. So then I have to decide, do I want Shadows or Slaaneshi magic? It's pretty close. I mean, this whip thing is a decent spell early. Acquiesce. You do have Phantasmagoria, sort of whatever. I think Shadow is probably better. And they've buffed Shadow a lot. Like, Mystifying Miasma is a very good single target spammable spell at tier 1. And then you've got some decent debuffs. The armor one I think can go AoE. This has been nerfed, but this is an extremely powerful wind spell. That's not even like a finale spell. It's one of your first 4 spells. This is very, very good. They buffed this quite a lot. Where this just buffs the hell out of, especially like your Lord that's charging an enemy Lord. With all the modifiers getting an extra 50% damage. You're just going to delete them. And then this has always been one of the best Vortex spells. Now they nerfed it. It used to be 12 cost. I think it's 15 now. But it's still worth. It's very, very good stationary Vortex. So I think we're doing Shadow Magic. And I don't think there's a lot of utility in picking the Lord. Like, he's a slightly better fighter, more armor, but we just really want the magic. Okay, so now we want to do character experience and unit experience. Or Hideous Visage. What is this? His leadership's -8. But he causes... We already cause a lot of fear. But he gives the other people -6 leadership. That seems a little goofy. Okay, I guess we'll just do Open Eyes. And I think this is better than the Herald. But let me know in the comments what you think. Okay. So we'll hire him. Let's see if I'm remembering that correctly. Okay, so he doesn't get the dragon. Maybe that's just for, like, you know, other Chaos people or whatever. But he does get a War Shrine, which is pretty good buff. He can get various steeds. I mean, that's nice. For a caster that, you know, can also have 12,000 HP, it's pretty good. And, like, those other buffs, I don't have to put a War Shrine in my army. Focus of Beguilement. That's pretty good. AoE range. Charge bonus for an army, that's nice. Oh, and -5 melee attack for everybody. Are these mutually exclusive? No, I think you can get both. Forsaken and Spawn. Okay. I don't know if we'll get a ton of those, but they're alright. Then you got your standard stuff down here. You got... We want to do the caster stuff early. At least get Miasma and the Pendulum. The casting bonus thing is not that great. Just get extra speed. Now, they buffed it a little bit, it looks like, so it's 24 seconds. It didn't used to be that long. And you get extra, like, agility in addition to the speed, so... That's a little bit better. But okay, now we got some magic.
Power is freedom.
I think we're good. Again, I don't know how we hire the seductive army. That could just be a... I don't know, something else. Okay, but now do we want to do... 20 control per turn and recruitment rank for 200 or 100, 50 growth per turn. I kind of like the growth idea. And then income from buildings. So when we get more income buildings, that'll probably be worth. But like right now, pleasurable acts. I think spending 100 on this, I think that's worth, but I'm not 100%. You're basically getting 250 growth, which would save 5 turns right now. And we definitely want these things up to tier 2. I think I like it. And you get a little bit more control.
I command you to be entertained.
Alright. I think we're good. We can't look at Pleasure Palace stuff, and we can't look at Decadence yet. Her other sort of stuff. Okay, everybody hates us. Pretty sure. Alright. What is... Oh, Tormentor's... Okay, yeah, so that's the Decadence stuff. Alright. I think we'll keep all the rest standardized here, and we are hiring...
Freedom.
So you can only hire one at a time. That's another benefit of the blue tree. It does let you hire one more per turn. I really wish they would make it standard for Slaanesh, or at least for somebody like Nakari or whatever. The seducing units that you could pay for, like, let you keep that unit after the battle. Now, obviously, they'd have to balance around that, but just make them, like, either cost thralls per turn, cost extra money per turn, have permanent decaying attrition, kind of like the army that you get, the Slaanesh armies you can raise. Just something to let you keep those units, because that would solve a lot of problems. First of all, it'd be really cool, too, to have kind of a motley group of units. You wouldn't get a lot of buffs from your technologies and your lord buffs and stuff like that, so they probably would be a little bit weaker than your standard units. But that would be a kind of mobile recruitment that would be very unique and interesting. You have to pay a significant amount of money to do it, and you're taking their units, but... or even if it's not even during battle, but if you're just in the province and another army's in the province, maybe you could, you know, lure one of their units away from their army. I don't know, but I just really like that idea of getting like a cool, diverse army that you're seducing over, but it costs significant resources to do it. But it is kind of OP, you know, to just steal like their best unit out of their army. It is somewhat limited because you can't have a 20 stack and do that. But, okay, what other... Okay, so we've got Channeling Stance, which is not insanely useful.
Lord of Excess.
Okay, I don't... Okay, so we cannot get there in one turn.
Enticing.
So we can go... Let's just go to here.
Enthralling.
Okay, Mugga.
I ain't doing that.
Southern Outpost. 7, 8. I could still get some extra replenishment here. What's my ambush chance?
Everything.
Does it say your ambush chance?
Of excess.
I could ambush and see if they come out on me with this guy.
The multitudes.
I don't know. Oh, you have to click on this. 70%? It's not bad.
Devotion are bloody. Sister.
Could use
of
this for
the
extra
land.
ambush. Okay, so let's come over here.
Doubtlessly. Freedom is power.
I think we can hit this next turn. So I think what we're gonna do is ambush.
Complacent targets.
And here we can recruit, because they love to hit you while you're trying to recruit.
I will pave my path with ruins.
Get one spear. Spears are obviously way better against large. But okay, and these are the same. Oh, what did I? Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. No, I clicked the disciples thing just for fun. Oh my god. Well, it's just one turn, but okay. I guess I was so busy talking about it, it just defaults you right there, I suppose. Okay, well, I'm glad I noticed that before it got too far. And then there's some other text too, but I don't want to spend too much time going through those. This is where you want to start, I'm pretty sure. They nerfed the old strategy that I had talked about before. I think it was... was it Aberrant? This used to be the first one. Aberrant promiscuity thing, which is okay. This is a different one. They used to have ones with units that were in there too. I think it was the intoxicating heroism. +3 rank, cultist. It was like something that big time upgraded the mark of Slaanesh. It was like double thralls or something crazy with marks of Slaanesh. And then the old school, oh crap, I forgot to make something in the cult. I forgot to look at the cult last turn too. There's so many things to keep up with. But in the cults, you could just keep cranking out heroes and just keep cranking out marks of Slaanesh. Oh, it was something that like reduced it increased the mark to give you double thralls, I think, on it. And then it like lowered the cost of hero actions for the heroes that did that, the cultists, by like 50%. So you could just spam marks on everybody. So you would just do the send your people out into the world thing, put up cults everywhere, and then just spam marks on everybody, which was kind of interesting, but it just took so many just clicks every turn, just going through mark. And you could, again, generate a lot of thralls, but it felt a little cheesy. And they have changed the cults where you can't get a free hero now every time you make a cult. So yeah, I mean, this stuff's probably cool. Fascination is now requires this tier 3 thing. I don't know if they upgraded it or not, but yeah, it did a lot of damage. But yeah, this is where we want to be because we want that demonic attraction.
The more
okay, and speaking of this
the
cult,
better.
where is that cult building? Okay, here we go.
So be it.
So we've got this one. It's 5 corruption, which is kind of whatever. Now we're probably going to come up here and take this too, so I'm not sure. 10 thralls per turn. So it's like 200 gold per turn effectively from that equivalency we saw earlier. Because 1 gold is like 20 thralls. I feel like we're going for that. Are we going to be there within 10 turns? I'm not sure how this maps out. We obviously take all this first. And then I'm not sure who we go for next.
It is acceptable.
Now that's walled. I think we can take it. There might be something in here that we fight before that. I'm not sure. I mean, okay, so if we sell it back though,
I concur.
it takes 2 turns to build. We can sell it back for like 600 gold or 1200 gold or something. So really we're paying 800 gold in 2 turns. We're getting 2, so we would just need 6 turns before we take it to be worth it. Last turn I would definitely do it. This turn, I guess. Okay, we can cancel it if we change our mind. Got to keep up with the cults. That's the only cult we have. I think summoning the cults is not a good play. Early on, at least. Okay, and then we're hiring. We did everything else. We did this. Oh, Wormkins. I mean, that's gonna make the dude mad. Croxagore guy. I don't know if we beat them or not early. We might. All these people look very weak.
The gods might compel me to kill.
Not very much.
But I
don't. Okay.
I will coax you into action.
And you can't channel, right, while you're hiring? No. Okay. Alright, let's go. I like that he's coming out wanting to fight me here instead of the other place, though. I wonder when they're going to do the big DLC for Koresh. I mean, they've got it linked right there. Okay, so we didn't get the ambush, but we still got to fight. I mean, we could just auto-resolve this. We are going to get a replenishment on our turn, and then we're going to take the town and get another replenishment. And it'll make sure they can't run away. It'll just kill them all. I think I'm good with that.
The anticipation.
2 thralls.
The rights are mine to perform.
Okay, cool.
The denied one.
Oops. Yeah, slaves to excess.
Mistress of the tormentors.
Oh, can I damage walls anyways? Okay, you just get an extra wall. Okay, so that's alright, but not crazy.
Maledicta. Magic is my plaything. Daughter of excess.
Okay. So, if that case, did they buff this at all, or is it still... Nah, it's the same. Okay, we'll go with that. That's a pretty big upgrade. 1 point for 4/4.
Sister of delight.
I think we still want her to take it.
To Slaanesh. The waiting is torture. Long for me.
Now, I've never understood. I'm gonna have to look this up to see if you like split XP or not. If you have multiple wards, or if you just generate more. I feel like you're generating more total XP by having someone reinforce rather than not reinforce. Alright, and yeah, I think we'll just auto-resolve that.
A dreadful, delicate death.
Give enough for punishment, though. Man, they are really stingy with these in battles.
These may last a while. Chosen of the Dark Prince.
Hearts of Iron is a very good buff, too. See? They've got this really good buff. Why doesn't she have that? 12 armor and 8 melee on all demonic infantry, non-demonic infantry. So not just your marauders and crap, but like your chosen and stuff like that. This is a way, way better skill tree. I just noticed that, the red skill tree. And then the demonic stuff. You want some demonic stuff. They've got big buffs for that too. Charge and armor. Now those are less powerful, I think, than these. I'd rather have the 8 melee attack than the charge. But a lot of those demons, realistically, you are using them to charge. You're not just sitting in combat with them. Monsters, 8 melee, 10% weapon strength. So this is just way stronger. Now, the blue tree is not as good. The sacking, the 15% sack is not horrible. Unholy resilience is extremely good. Okay, blessed by evil's interesting. So you don't have the flat out reduction, but you've got more post-battle loot. Okay. And then he's also got... He's a good fighter, but does he have the mark of Slaanesh too? Okay, so he can actually climb up the walls. Because I think the demon girl doesn't have the mark of Slaanesh, because she's a demon of Slaanesh. So he gets to benefit from those things. Okay, yeah, I need to actually put this on her too.
The Dark Prince.
Slaaneshi mutants. Yeah, that can stay on him. That's fine. Okay, and then skills over here. Excess.
Power is freedom.
And then... Do I want to get hard to hit so that he's better at sticking in, or do I just play him off as, like... just a charge person? I mean, he is going to get a cold one. That would make the charge obviously a lot better. I think we'll go with melee attacks. We're just going to try to be killing people. 30 charge bonus is pretty crazy, though. Let's do charge bonus, actually. Because we're going to have steeds eventually.
They will suffer.
I thought I already picked this. Okay, so the pendulum for sure.
A most pleasing development. Yes. Ah, yes. The urge. Follow in my footsteps. Savor it. Yes.
I'm not sure if we're going to hit them next turn or not. That's why I'm saying maybe I should have taken it with him and I could dash over with her to like right here, and then maybe she could hit it next turn. We'll see if I goof that up or not. Now she has the follower, right? Yes. Master Painter.
Freedom is power.
Okay. Now I'm not sure if I want to use this growth yet. So yeah, we're getting like pretty good growth. Well, that's because I have the 50 from the commandment too. So I think... Do I want growth or do I want money? I mean, money is very nice, but if I'm trying to grow all of these up, that's 1,000 gold too. But I can sell it back later. It also does give replenishment though. We do want pretty much everything to be tier 2, at least. I imagine the Pleasure Palace we want. I think you need to get the Pleasure Palace tier 3 to get additional Pleasure Palaces. How much does money matter right now? A little bit. That's age-old question, money or growth. Because we need money to upgrade these things too. We're going to be down into like 800 gold per turn. It's getting a little expensive.
The multitudes. Enticing.
Okay, I think we'll go with the money, because I think that's going to be the big...
Enthralling.
I think that's going to be our major bottleneck. At least for now, until the growth things wears off. We can sell the money thing if we need to in a little bit. If we need more growth. Okay, so all that looks fine. We're keeping... Oh, here's this thing.
There needs no other.
So, what?
Naturally.
What kind of gerrymandering is this? Okay, this place is a different... Fuheng is a different kind of place, I guess. Can we siege that? I've heard from one little thing I watched just kind of explaining mechanics that Balthasar Gelt's kind of difficult to deal with.
Sister of delight.
But I don't know what difficulty level or experience like these people had. Okay, I guess this is fine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where is... Okay, he's going up here. I thought for some reason he was coming down here for a second. I was like, hold up there, buddy. That's all he has?
Dark sea.
Okay, maybe we can go take him out before he becomes a problem. Alright.
Savor it. Yes.
Recruiting, trying to
It
run
is
up as
not
much as we
yet
can.
time.
Okay.
Never.
Can he get it?
Lord of excess.
Okay, so I could have hit it. Oh, I can still do it. So, I think I can siege with him. He's not siege attacker, though. Are these things siege attackers?
Slave of indulgence.
Yes, thank God. It's so annoying when you don't have any siege attackers with your opening army. Like, your almost every Legendary Lord, I think, has it. I think every Legendary Lord does have it this day and age. But now I can just maybe hand off the entire army to the Sorcerer Lord after he sieges.
I will coax you into action.
Then I can dash and get up close enough to just hand off the whole army. So I don't have to take an extra turn. So that's the benefit of having an extra ward early, too. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I know we're basically out of time, but...
It is war. Now, yes. Long for me in terror.
Ooh. It's close. Am I going to be able to get there? Yeah, okay, yeah, I can definitely get there.
Slaanesh.
Oh, I could almost get there with my normal move, too. I guess he was just blocking part of the path, and that was a big deal in the mountains. Can I do it without being tired?
I serve the Dark Prince.
I mean, I can just...
Follow your senses. Enticing. Entrancing.
Okay, nice.
Enthralling. Fools never deny anything. It is war.
It's saying close, and so that's gonna do a lot of damage. I think we will do much better than close. Okay, so we'll start off here next time. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, subscribe if you did. I think we take this out, and then we'll see where we go next. It looked like Croxador, or whatever his name is, will be an easy target early on, but I also don't want to like chase him around. So we'll see. But anyway, it should be interesting. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see you back next time.